By now, most of us Tarnished have reached the final boss area of the new Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. What a trip. And now you're facing the most difficult From Software boss of all time. That's right, I'm talking about you, Promised Consort of Radahn version 2.0. I'm sure you've heard how he's too hard, how he's unfair. He probably should be nerfed and he's impossible to defeat. When you first show up, you may have the option to use these two NPC summons. Don't use them. Just don't use them. Use your mimic tier. You get all buffed and get ready to traverse the mist, and behold the terror. Your controller starts to shake. Your heart leaps out of your chest. But you've seen this bluster before, remember? The Elden Beast, the Fire Giant, Melania, Blade of Mikela, Radahn, Malekith, the Black Blade, the infamous Godskin duo, Ornstein and Smoke, the Fume Knight, and Sister Frida. Oh, how I hate her. These all made us poop in our pants the first time we encountered them, and they seemed impossible to beat. But you persevered. They're already Tarnished. We have beat this guy at room level 1. Some guy let his mimic tier solo him. Another player kung fu'd him to death. And several players have one-shot him. So clearly, it's not impossible. You just have to keep at it. Death comes quickly. You'll die often. But you'll get up and do it again and again and again and again. Then you just break down and pray to the gods to let you beat him just once, and you'll go to church every Sunday for the rest of your life. Then you slip into the deepest pit of despair until you suddenly remember the words of a wise old man who once said this about difficult things.
Difficult, not impossible.
Well, that brings you back to your feet, and you go back, and you die, and you die, and you die. But at some point, the miracle happens, and you finally beat this monster. I managed to beat him with mostly base weapons and tools. My mimic tier, the Anspar rapier, it inflicts poison, rot, and bleed for extra damage. This massive shield, some items to boost damage, and elemental effects. And then I poked, and I poked, and I poked, and I poked, until he finally died. And now I take a deep breath and bask in the glory. You can go back and collect all the cool swag from the useless NPCs. This guy drops some really cool stuff, like this weapon. Check out my girl as she takes it out for a spin. Oh yeah, she's so hot. Then you get this cutscene with lore, but I don't really care about the lore, blah 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 blah. I'm just here for the winning. And then finally, you get the big prize. Now you can boast having obtained all the remembrances in the DLC, but most importantly, this one. You can do it, fellow Tarnished. I didn't care much for his rewards, but his armor is pretty sweet. So now you get to chill out, look more closely around the arena. It's desolate, dreary, and depressing. No place to hide. Looks like an atom bomb went off. An atom bomb did go off. It's called Radahn. You can now sit back and admire your status and build. Yeah, you're finished. You don't have to worry about this guy anymore. You can try out all the new armor and helms and combos. Pretty cool stuff. Now you can do this after you've beaten Radahn. I like this look. And I really like this one. You can play around with all your new toys. Some are pretty amazing. I didn't use many of them on this run, but I plan to use them in New Game Plus, which should come in handy actually. Now look at this. These tools are amazing. There's a new weapon for every build. I like faith builds, and this weapon is really, really good. I relied mostly on the base weapons of the game. They were all quite effective, and you can easily beat the game, including this boss, without any of the new stuff. The Blasphemous Blade is actually very effective in the DLC. Old faithful tools I know how to use. So it's up to you to beat this guy. You gotta close the circle, man. Close the circle. There you go. Because until you do, you're not gonna have the experience this game intends for you to have. It's not impossible. It doesn't need to be nerfed. Come on, you've done this before. So quit crying about nerfing it or that it's so unfair. You know how this works. You can do it. After you've rested from the ordeal, you can get back up and get back out there exploring and being the awesome Elden Lord you are. You can take anything those devilish geniuses at From Software can throw at you. So go on, get the prize. You can do it.